welcome back to Bosco Campus Vision. So, in the previous sessions, we were dealing with different kinds of media. We have already dealt with print media, and today we'll be speaking about broadcast media. So, what do you mean by broadcast media? Broadcast media, it transmits sounds or images electronically. It consists of programs that are produced by television networks and radio stations. So, broadcast media consists of programs that are produced by television networks as well as radio stations. Next, the three forms of broadcast media. Examples of broadcast media include radio, television, and films. We'll be dealing with broadcast media in detail in our second module. So just remember that the three forms of broadcast media are radio, television, and films. Next point. The earliest broadcasting consisted of sending telegraph signals over the airwaves using Morse code. The Morse code, it was a system developed in 1830s by Samuel F. B. Morse, physicist Joseph Henry, and Alfred Vail. So these people, Samuel F. B. Morse, Joseph Henry, and Alfred Vail, they together gave way to Morse code. That is one of the earliest broadcasting, consisting of sending telegraph signals through airwaves. Next point. Broadcasters play to the here and now. News and information on television, on radio, and in print generally speak to the most current issues of the day. We know that radio as well as television, they tend to speak about the present, to the here and now. So it mainly speaks about current issues of the day. Next. Broadcast engages more senses than reading and adds audio as well as motion for television. We know in the case of television, more than one sense is involved. We have audio as well as visual. So it engages people. Broadcasting focuses on getting a message out, and it is up to the general public to do what they wish with it. So, the main aim of broadcasting is to give an information, to pass information or message, and it is up to the people whether they buy it or they reject it. The next one. All forms of broadcasting aims at distributing a signal that will reach the target audience. So every broadcasting media, they needs their message or information to be reached out to the audience, to the general public. The next point. There is no way to predetermine how the larger population or audience will absorb the signal or message. They can choose to listen, analyze, or simply ignore it. So, there is no way for the broadcast media to understand or to predict how the general public or the people will receive the message. They can choose to listen or they can analyze or they can criticize, and some people they may just ignore it. So there is no way for the broadcast media to predict how the people or the audience will react to that particular message or information. Broadcasting forms a very large segment of the mass media. It is a very eminent media in itself. Broadcasting is a very large segment of the mass media. Next one. Broadcasting to a very narrow range of audience is called narrowcasting. We know that the opposite of the word broad is narrow. So, broadcasting to a very narrow range of audience, so broadcasting to a limited audience is known as narrowcasting. So now we have a general idea about broadcasting media, and so we can move on to the strengths and limitations of broadcast media. I've included television and radio in this section. So, what are the merits and demerits of television? The first merit or the strength of television is that it allows for active demonstration of product. We can see the product, or we can see the product right in front of our eyes and we can assess it. So it allows for active demonstration of product, and that is a strength of television. Next one, it can reach large national audience as well as large local audience. It has both access to national as well as local audience. So that is also another strength of television. Then messages stand alone, means messages, they are complete in itself. There is no room for confusion or dilemma. The messages that, or the information that are passed, that they stand alone. The next one is high impact. Television has a way of influencing people. They can influence people very easily. So it has high impact. That is also a merit of television. Next one, it is a prime source of news. We understand about the day-to-day life through television. So that is also another strength of television. Next one, it is a spectacular medium. Why? Because it makes use of sound, animation, motion, color, etc. So opposing to the print media, television, it is a spectacular medium. The next one, it is an obtrusive medium, meaning it can project things. It can also influence people. So these are the strengths of television. Now let's move on to the limitations of television. The first limitation is that the messages have short life. Next, it has not enough depth, and as it does not have enough depth, it cannot provide details. That is another demerit of television. Next one, it is not it's not portable, meaning it cannot be taken from one place to another. It is not portable, and that is also another limitation of television. Next one, it has high production cost, and its most stations are urban. So rural people have difficulty in uh, getting television. So that is also another demerit of television. So these are the strengths and limitations of television. Clear? Okay. So the next broadcasting media is radio. Let's look at its merits and demerits. The first merit of radio is that it is an intimate medium. It provides personal space. The next one, it is a good supplementary medium. It provides information. Next one, selective audience. Audience can select what they want to listen. It gives selectivity. Next one, it's great flexibility. It is a flexible medium. The next point, it has universal coverage and it can be production free. Next point, it has urban as well as rural access. It can be accessed anywhere, anytime. So that is also another merit of radio. And in contrast to television, radio is portable. It can be taken from one place to another, and that makes it comfortable for every people to have it. So that is also another merit of radio. The next one, it is a prime source of local information, and it has a loyalty or credibility. So all these traits add to the merits of radio. Now let's have a look at its limitation. The first limitation is that it has short life. Then no visuals. There is only audio and there is no visual. That is also another defect of radio. Next one, it cannot provide details, and also it is a one-way process. We only listen. That is also another defect of radio, and it has no motion. Only one sense is active there, that is audio. So there is no motion, and that is also another defect of radio. So these are the strengths and limitations of radio. To wind up this session, today we have discussed about broadcasting media. To be more specific, we have talked about television as well as radio. and we have discussed the strengths and limitations of both television and radio. So, as assignment, please do write what do you mean by broadcast media, and also list out the advantages and disadvantages of radio and television and present it on time.